Temple jewelry. Temple jewelry is really called the jewelry of the South Indian bride. And when a bride is usually shopping, this is one piece of jewelry. The South Indian bride, she would have it in some form or the other generally, and that's a tradition in South India. And in earlier times, this jewelry was made for the deities of temples, and basically it was made out of the gold that was donated to the to temples. And so they made it only for the deities present in the temple, and slowly the Bharatanatyam dancers started using this jewelry for their performances, for their daily practices, and it gained popularity, and now it has evolved to become an essential part of the South Indian bride wardrobe. So, as the name suggests, temple jewelry. These are intricate depictions of gods and goddesses. So it depicts a lot of deities. Also depicts some animals. It takes inspiration from temple tops, the architecture of South Indian temples. The most depicted forms are Lakshmi, many female deities, Ganeshji, Krishna. The technique that is used to make this jewelry is generally handcrafted, and they handcraft this in 22 karat gold and emboss it. Embossing is a technique where they raise the metal, the gold metal. And sorry, if you see the slide, this is a bride, South Indian bride. She is, as you can see, every piece of jewelry that she has worn, right from the neck piece to the earring to the kamarpatta, which is the waistband, the armband, they all have some form depicted, some gods and goddesses depicted on them. And even though this jewelry was usually handcrafted, off lately manufacturers are casting this using CAD. So they're making the jewelry pieces on CAD and then casting it. So printing it in wax and then casting it in gold. And the idea behind this is, of course, with CAD, you can have many more intricate details, well-defined features, and there's not much of a feature loss. And also the weight of the gold comes down much more. So you have lighter pieces of jewelry. The contemporary style still use gemstone and diamonds. And sometimes the costume version of this is silver and electroform jewelry. So if you see the first slide, you can see a hairpiece, again depicting, I think that's goddess Lakshmi. And then the second earring, which is a jhumka, which is a long earring, a traditional earring in the Indian traditional jewelry. Again, it has some animals depicted on it, and very traditional, very intricate. The third one is by Zamor, was popular South Indian jeweler, and they have Ganeshji depicted on it. And the last one you can see is Krishna by Tanishq, and Tanishq also has some beautiful temple jewelry. There's one interesting fact here that about temple jewelry, or jewelry which are made with the figures of gods and goddesses. So many jewelers actually, you'll see, I mean, many jewelers would refuse to melt jewelry of gods and goddesses. So it's a superstition. They believe that if you offend the god, something bad could happen if you're melting a god. And it's also ironic in that sense because many times pure gold jewelry, the way this is, it's almost very pure, 22 karat purity gold, is bought for investment purposes. But I mean, many jewelers, you'll find very few jewelers will agree to melt jewelry which has gods and goddesses depicted on it. So where South Indian jewelry, temple jewelry was more the jewelry of the South Indian bride, the Kundan stone and Polki diamond jewelry is more the jewelry of the North Indian bride. I mean, of course, it has a, you know, it has a charm where most Indian people really relate to this jewelry. But you'll see that's more worn in the North Indian weddings. And this sort of jewelry, which is called the Kundan stone and Polki diamond jewelry, it started off in the Rajasthan court, And then it really gained popularity in the Mughal era. The Mughals kind of refined this jewelry, brought out all the intricate details, made it made them more aesthetically pleasing. And most of these pieces, if you see, each and every piece has this old world charm, which many women can relate to. And they will use traditional colors like reds, greens, and whites. The newer jewelry still uses pastel colors. The traditional uses more vibrant colors. The newer jewelry, again, soft colors. Generally, this sort of jewelry, the inside or the back is enameled, and the enamel is done by they use a hot enamel technique, which is a glass enamel technique, and we will be seeing a small video a little later. So hopefully, that you can see how it's done. And this enamel technique is actually called meenakari in India. So it's they use meena as a term for enamel, and the enamel that they use is again different from the enamel that we are using at Imaginarium. We use the cold enamel or the cold meena, which is more a commercial technique, and this technique is a long painstaking technique. The stones, the kundan stone and the polki stone or the polki diamond, they are set in this jewelry by a setting technique which is called Jadao Kundan setting, and we will be looking at this a little later. So if you see this bangle, you can see that the inside is enamel with red, white, and green colors. The outside has polki diamonds. Polki diamonds are uncut diamonds. And then there is red stones, red rubies, which are also cut and inlaid over here. A very beautiful piece by Gem Palace. The necklace on the left is by Paliwala Jewelers, and again, this is using kundan stones. Kundan stones are glass stones, and surrounded by enamel. Then you have another ring, again using red, green meena, and also there is meena, I think, on the back of the ring as well. This is by Tanishq. And the big necklace by Azwa. Azwa is another popular brand in Bombay, making this jewelry. Sabyasachi is one of the designers. I mean, everybody must have heard of Sabyasachi. He is a fashion designer and is known to make bridal lehengas. And he has of lately gotten into jewelry, and he has, though this jewelry was already quite popular with the brides, he has taken this a few steps further, and he's making really beautiful designs with this technique, very traditional and ornate designs. Now, really, what is the difference between Kundan stone and Polki diamond? Overall, if you see the jewelry, it appears the same. Visibly, they're almost the same. You can barely tell the difference. The difference of Kundan stone jewelry and Polki stone jewelry is only in the base, the major material that you use, the white stone material. And in Kundan stone jewelry, you use polished glass. And in Polki diamond jewelry, you use uncut diamonds. So, uncut diamonds are raw diamonds, unpolished diamonds. They are rough and they are not cut or polished in any which way, but they too have different qualities, like how a regular polished diamond would have. So you will probably find a colorless uncut diamond, or you'll find an uncut diamond which is more gray in color. So, and glass, the Kundan stone jewelry uses glass which is highly polished and kind of gives a shine to the jewelry piece. And so even the jewelry piece is in Kundan stone jewelry, even the jewelry, the metal part of it looks very shiny. And the uncut diamond gold, the jewelry, looks raw and rustic. So it has a rough, raw appeal, a very beautiful appeal. So definitely Polki, because it includes diamond, the Polki diamond jewelry will be a little more expensive. And Kundan jewelry only has the pure content of gold, and but does not have to account for diamonds, so it really is not so expensive. It is used with both these styles. You can use enhance it with rubies, emeralds, and other stones as well. And both use a technique called Jadao Kundan technique. Now, at this point, this could get a little confusing because Kundan has been repeated twice. So Kundan has two terms, two definitions in jewelry. One is a Kundan stone jewelry, which I told you is a glass stone jewelry. Here, there's an image over here. And Kundan is also uh, 24 karat pure gold. It's also called as 24 karat pure gold foils are called as Kundan. And in the video, you will see that they insert this Kundan foil around the stone so that the shine of the stone improves, and it's very beautifully done. And Jadao, which actually is a term or a technique, but commonly a lot of people call this sort of jewelry, the Kundan stone jewelry and Polki diamond jewelry, they call it Jadao jewelry. But Jadao actually is a technique, and Jadao is also a setting technique where you embed the stone in metal. And so, like you saw in the video, they use gold foils. Those foils which they were embedding around the stone is called, also is known as Kundan. And the Meena technique, the enamel technique, they were melting glass and then they put it in, they also heat it up. Very painstaking process, detailed process. So that's it. So for Kundan jewelry and Polki